All right, Shalom, Kohalo, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and infinite salutation to the elect that are scattered abroad doing this work in truth and in sincerity. The end is manifest. The RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, is months away. All right, this thing is speeding up. The Most High is speeding up the days. Everybody's talking about digital IDs and even more. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video and we'll get right into the video.
War involved in this conflict, even they cannot predict what will happen. So it makes things even more difficult for us. But despite everything that is happening, well, there is some estimate the virus pandemic that не случайно impeded the development of all the continents.
Really, what's happening is that we have been, and we still are, and for the next 10 years we will be rewiring the global economy to lay the networks that we laid before, which were high.
Yep. So after all these years was the preparation for what they're getting ready to do, which is mandate this microchip, right? Going back to what Aaron Russo and Alex Jones were talking about, total control over the population. This has been in the works for years, if not decades. You know, they've been getting this thing prepared on the back end. All right. But now artificial intelligence is here. Now they got the smart cities. Now they have 15-minute cities, the blockchain, you know, everybody's, you know, tapping to pay, NFC frequencies, you know, radio identification. You know, you go to the store, everything's, you know, most people are paying with their phones tap to pay. So the system is here now. Let me play back a little bit what he said. I'm going to let this play out now because I don't want my thing to die.
And for the next 10 years, we will be rewiring the global economy to lay the networks that we laid before, which were highways, utilities, railways. And now we're laying cloud, artificial intelligence factories, and data centers. And that, on the fundamental basis, that's what's happening. So there will be $10 trillion from power, AI, factories, data centers, and fiber build out laid to basically rewire the world for the new economy that's coming.
Prime ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
This is it, people. They have initiated proceedings. We are about to enter the end game. Whatever you do, no matter how tough your life gets, no matter how restricted they make your way of life, do not surrender your freedom. The moment you get into this digital prison, you will not be able to escape. Your money will be controlled. Privacy will be non-existent. You won't be able to spend money. You won't be able to buy, sell, drive anywhere, leave the country without them knowing about it. Your whole life will be officially under a microscope. They are taking the whole concept of slavery to a whole new level. They don't want people to...
Yep, digital slavery. All right, that's what it's going into, digital slavery. And everything he's saying is prophetic, all right? And that's what people don't understand, you know? And that's why the men of the Lord are here, the prophets. The Lord has set up the prophets to proclaim everything that's happening in the spirit, and we, you know, filtering it through the scriptures. We telling you that. We've been telling you, going back to the elder apostles, decades, been telling you about the microchip being the mark of the beast, right? And all these other Israelite camps, they're going to come to the conclusion that Great Millstone was always right. All right. But digital slavery, and really, like this guy was saying, you know, you gotta, you know, reject it. But really, if you don't have the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai on you, you gonna end up taking this thing. All right. The hour of temptation is amongst the whole world. This is gonna be a trial of the whole earth. Everybody's gonna be tested. This is gonna be a global thing. All right. This prophecy that's getting ready to take place is going to be a global thing. And they talking about July 4th, we're going to run out of oil here in America. So we'll see how it all plays out at the end of the day. But the Lord is speeding up the days. Things are happening quick. You know, the UK just announced the digital IDs. Everything's going digital. Okay? Everything's been going digital, but now we to the point where the Most High is going to fulfill all these prophecies. We looking for this microchip because we know that this microchip, it's got to come before Yahweh Shai comes. And man, this thing is at the door, Akim. This thing is at the door.
Be able to escape the matrix anymore. They don't want people to be able to save money to become wealthy. They want people locked up. They want people restricted. They want people depressed. They want people that will do as they're told because they depend on the government.
Yep.
If you don't do what they tell you to do, you're out. You're out of the system. And once they lock you out, they can freeze your money. They can freeze your passport. They can freeze entry to anything out there, restaurants, shops, you name it. That will be the next step. If you still think this is a conspiracy theory, I honestly don't give a shit. By all means, surrender your freedom. Don't come crying to us in 5 or 10 years' time. This message is for the people that are actually awake, actually have a brain, and actually want to use it. This is it. This will be, I can't express how important this is a time for human and mankind itself. This is a huge turning point in our history. We are in the Libra scale, and at the moment, it's a level playing field. The moments you surrender to digital ID, I don't think we'll ever be able to escape it. You've been warned.
Yep. And this is gonna be like a trench, that Esau is setting up, a trap. And pretty much everybody's gonna be backed into the corner because you're not gonna be able to buy anything, you're not gonna be able to sell, you're not gonna be able to travel, you're not gonna be able to do anything unless you have the digital ID. But even more so, the digital ID, where is it gonna be stored at? It's gonna be stored on the microchip. You're not gonna be able to buy and sell without this. Okay, this is prophecy unfolding. All right, let's grab a quick scripture real quick. Revelation. Actually, let me grab this. 2nd Ezra 9:5. For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. We are witnessing the end times play out. Okay, we're witnessing prophecy unfold. And it's so heavy because we've been telling everybody how it's gonna go down, you know? And for the longest time we was crazy, we was the bum camp, you know, but now people are gonna come running seeking for answers, but by then it's gonna be too late, you know? But the end is manifesting, it's being made plain. The prophecies are coming to pass. All right. But let's get the prophecy real quick. Revelation 13. Yeah, we singing the same song yet again. If you don't like it, go watch something else. Revelation 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. So there you go. This mark is talking about the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, which is coming in the very, very near future. We're months away, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, whatever. We counting down months. This is how fast this thing is gonna go down. It's gonna happen quick. All right. And when they bring this thing, ain't no going back. All right. Ain't no going back, man. All right, and we know that the scriptures say that he knoweth that he had but a short time. Esau knows his time is running out, man. Esau knows that his time is running out, so he's about to push this thing heavy. All right, and it's gonna be promoted everywhere, just like they did back in 2020 with the crack scene, man. You know, but it's gonna be 10 times more draconian. More harsh laws in place. Revelation 13 and 16, and he causeth all. So this is gonna be a global prophecy. Everybody on earth. All right. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. The RFID chip, the brain interface, the brain chip, and that no man might buy or sell. So that's how they're going to get people to take it. You're not going to be able to buy or sell. And the whole system's already set up. And even going back to 2020, remember they were giving out the stimulus checks. That was all just a test run for what they really want to do. They want to put people on a universal basic income, you know, and it's going to be all programmable, digitalized money, money that, is pretty much tokenized, you know, and it's like coupons. You ain't going to be able to save no money, man. That's what they want, man. Remember Klaus Schwab, he said, you will own nothing and be happy. That's what they were saying. You will own nothing and be happy. You're going to eat bugs, you know? So we see this thing coming. And we also see on the horizon another scamdemic, maybe this Hunter virus. We'll see how that plays out. But we know going to the Georgia Guidestones, the elites, they want to reduce the population of the earth to under 500 million. So they want to get rid of billions of people. All right? And that's going to put fear in people. They're going to push this chip. They're going to put fear in people, man. They're going to come up with something. They're going to tell you that, however they do it. But, just speaking as a man, they're going to put fear in you people, man. They're going to scare the shit out of you people. Just like they did back in 2020. 2020 was nothing but a test run, to see how the world reacts. And majority of the population just sat on their ass and went to the clinics and rolled up their sleeve and got jabbed up. All right, because these people have been watered down, bro. Everybody's through, everybody's through, man. But Revelation 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So we know what that is. You're not going to be able to buy and sell unless you have the microchip. Digital ID. Look, first thing they'll say you need it to work, then what's next? And you're going to need it to travel. You're going to need it to shop, need it for healthcare access, needed to drive, needed to go online, needed to vote. And it just came out too. They said pretty much every vehicle, every car that's made after 2026 has to have facial recognition and kill switches, you know. So, bro, we there, bro. Like, and remember, they got the 2030 agenda. They want to get this thing by 2030, but they know that their time is short. So the Lord is shortening the days, bro. We know that, bro. We could be out of here in months. All right, we could be out of here in months. That's how close we are to this thing popping off. So we just got to stay on fire, stay diligent, because things is every single day something new is popping up in the news, especially with the microchip. They just recently passed the Clarity Act, so hopefully it hits Trump's desk so he can sign it into law, which we know that whole Clarity Act is, and regardless whether it passed or not, they were going to forward with their agenda anyways. But that Clarity Act, brings clarity to the crypto world, so all the banks are going to be integrated with crypto, which it's already here. The CBDCs, stable coins, it's already here. The blockchain, the system is already here. Needed to vote, needed to exist in society. And once digital ID is in place, it won't stop there. It becomes the gateway to the carbon credit system. Yep. Because remember, they want to track your carbon footprint. All right. They want to literally track every single thing you do. How much times you eat, how much times you use the restroom, how much footsteps you're taking, where you're going. They want to track everything, your carbon footprint, man. Where every purchase, every trip, every choice is tracked. You'll only be able to spend within your assigned allowance. Yeah, so they're going to assign people different allowances. And everybody's going to be put on a different pay. Some people might get 2,000 a month. Some people might get 5,000 a month. But remember, all the money that they're going to give you is all programmable. It's going to be like coupons. You're not going to be able to buy what you want, especially if you got a low credit score, and they see that you're spending too much money on on the booze. You gonna try to buy some Hennessy one day, and they gonna say nope. Go ahead and get yourself a pizza or something. Go to McDonald's and buy a McRib. You know. So once again, you'll only be able to spend within your assigned allowance. This is what we're coming into, and if you can't see it, the Most High is not dealing with you. Freedom will be replaced by rations, choice replaced by compliance. This isn't progress, it's control. Yeah, total control. Right? Let me grab some of these precepts. Proverbs 3 and 5 and 6. Hey, Shalom to the brother. Naquan, Shalom. Proverbs 3 and 5 through 6 in the NLT. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take, right? You know? And the water to the Most High for giving us the knowledge, wisdom, understanding. He gave us the heads up, bro. Like we got the heads up. The Lord gave us like the blueprint, you know. He told us what was gonna happen before it happened. And like the scriptures say, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. So what did we do? What do the wise men of Israel do? We hide ourselves in the scriptures because the scriptures teach you how to conduct yourself, how to move, how to control, how to be protected in the worst time ever because everybody's about to feel it, bro. They about to shut the lights off, bring in another pandemic from what it's looking like. You know, we're going to see. We're going to bring this chip out and everybody's going to be lost and confused. They're going to have no stability because they ain't got no knowledge or wisdom of the scriptures. You don't have a thorough understanding of the Bible, which is going to lead you to be confused. All right? Lost and confused. Psalm 7 and 14. The wicked conceive evil. They are pregnant with trouble and give birth to lies. They dig a deep pit to trap others, then fall into it themselves. Yeah, that's fire. They dig a deep pit to trap others. This is a deep pit, you know, that they've been setting up for decades to get the whole world in digital slavery. That's what it is. Digital slavery. Okay? Total control. They dig a deep pit to trap others, then fall into it themselves. Yes, because ultimately the Lord is setting this devil up for the taking. The Lord is going to destroy this man. You know, we know the end game. Yahweh Shai is going to come back and put an end to this devil's new world order. All right? It says, the trouble they make for others backfires on them. Yeah, man. Psalm 7 and 15. Psalm 7 and 16. The trouble they make for others backfires on them. The violence they plan falls on their own heads. Yep. So ultimately, Esau gonna shoot himself in the foot. You know, Esau is gonna, it's gonna backfire on him, man. That's what's gonna happen. And this is all according to the will of the Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All we gotta do is trust the Lord. You know, we go into the fear, the fear of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua all the time. Don't fear what this devil is doing. Fear the Lord. Fear the one who's in control of this man. The Lord is one who is running the show, bro. We don't give no credit to Esau Edom, bro. This devil is not doing what he wants to do. The Most High is controlling Esau Edom, man. So we don't fear Esau Edom and his plans and his schemes because we know the Lord got something for us and the Lord is going to make their plan fall on their own heads. Esau's plan is going to backfire. We just got to trust the process. Isaiah 55 and 11, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. And we know the mouth of the Lord is what? The prophets. We are telling you words from the heavens, bro. We're telling you the future according to the scriptures. It says, it shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Yeah, everything that the prophets are saying is going to come to pass, and it's happening. Once again, the end is being made manifest, bro. Okay? Yep, that's what those data centers are about. Yeah, they got all these data centers, and that's why you've been seeing a lot of power outages, you know? I know people have been talking about a lot of power out because of all them data centers, man. You know, that's what all this shit is about, bro. Man, this shit is about to get real. Proverbs 29:25, the fear of man bringeth a snare. Yeah, that's fire. Ate the water for the scriptures, bro. Heavy scriptures. Proverbs 29:25, the fear of man bringeth a snare, which is why the Lord said you're supposed to fear him. Because when you fear is a controller, fear can control you. When you fear for your life and you have somebody telling you, oh, just take the vaccine and you'll save your life. That's why most of the world got vaccinated back in 2020. They were in fear for their life, which we know that was all bullshit. And really, that's why the scriptures say, never trust your enemy. People went and took the crack scene and they ended up dead. All right. All different health issues. That's what you get for trusting in the enemy. But see, our people are so lost, they don't even know who the enemy is. You Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you don't even understand that you are in a spiritual war. You are at war every day, and this man is trying to exterminate you, man. And enslave the whole world. People don't understand, man. Proverbs 29:25, the fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso trusteth in the Lord shall be safe. So you trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's how you're going to be kept safe. Okay? But when you see, you're not supposed to fear what man can do unto you, man. Don't fear what Esau can do, because that's going to lead you down the path of taking a chip. Because, look, he going to tell you your life depends on it. I wouldn't be surprised if he come out and just straight up say, look, if you don't take the, well, we know he's going to do that. Actually, Revelation, the 20th chapter. He going to say, look, if you don't take it, we're going to chop your head off, man. Revelation 20:4. Some people are going to be beheaded. So, this is the deadly serious prophecy, man. Close it out with this. Revelation 3:10 in the NLT. Because you have obeyed my command to persevere. This is going into the elect, you brothers and sisters of the faith that believe. We're about to see why it's so important to believe on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And because you are obeying the command to persevere, no matter what you go through, you just continue to serve the Lord. No matter what you're going through, you just call on the name of the Lord, man. When you're doing good, you call on the Lord. When you're doing bad, when you lose something, you just call on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Well, guess what? We about to get that reward for calling on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, on this side. All right, before we even get to the kingdom, the Most High is going to start handing out goodies, man. Handing out gifts, protecting Jake, man. Helping brothers, guiding brothers in the worst time ever, man. Revelation 3:10. Because you have obeyed my command to persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world. Salakia, that will come upon the whole world to test those who belong to this world. All right. So the Lord is about to test everybody, man. The hour of temptation, when that microchip is mandated, that's going to separate the real from the fake, man. We all about to be tested, man. Everybody about to be put to the test. So prepare your mind, man. Prepare your mind for this test. Get ready to lose everything you have, man. Count it all as done. We're not gonna be in the house and kicked up, and we're gonna be tested. Remember that. Sirach 41:3. Fear not the sentence of death. Remember them that have been before thee, and that came after. For this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh. Yeah, so don't fear. Fear not, little flock. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, man. So, hey, call Yabash Shai. The microchip is coming. All right. The end is being made manifest. Shalom.